everybody from a kind of rainy Friday morning here in Western New York. I'm going to try and get my recording in a little quickly because somebody, for those of you watching the video, you can see I'm in my office, which is where I usually am when I record these. And somebody down the hall from me is having some kind of furniture constructed in their office or otherwise having drilling done in their office. It's been a little loud. And so I'm going to try to squeeze this in when the drill isn't going. So, all right, we have kind of an exciting episode today because I have an exciting thing going on today, which I will tell you all about. And as is usually the case, we'll be talking about books and crafts and prayers and all of that good stuff. This is Tea Time with Tiffany 103. I like our new format. I like the structure. I'm a structured person. What can I say? So, all right, let's start with our what's happening. So it's been kind of a whirlwind here, as I'm sure it has been for you. It tends to be for everybody at this time of the year with the summer holidays. There's a lot going on, especially on the weekends. There's lots of events, parties and festivals and lots of stuff. So we have had that going on as well. And I've had dance events the past couple of weekends. Luckily, I do have a couple weekends off. Kind of really need that. But after this 2-week break, it gets totally out of control. I have dance events on multiple days every weekend for several weekends in a row. Some of them are festivals in which I'll be dancing with my troupe. Some of them are paid gigs where I will be dancing with at least one other person, but not the entire troupe. And those are wonderful. They're a little scary because at this point I've done, let me see, 1, 2, 3 of those, I guess. So they're still pretty new to me. And, I get nervous. I get nervous because I want to do a really good job. And so there'll be lots of adventures stemming from those. I'm sure I have 2 this summer. One is, I don't even know all the details of them. One is at a restaurant. One is at a country club, a family party. The troupe has a wedding that we're going to be dancing at and that the group is getting paid for. So yeah, lots of stuff. We're all really nervous. So details to come on that, but it's nice to have a couple of weeks here. I've got to start getting set lists together. I have no idea what I'm going to do for those. I have to dance with Sword at several of these things, and he is chomping at the bit to be let out of the trunk, and I haven't practiced with him in months, so that'll be interesting. I will, of course, fill you in on all of the fun details. But I'm taking a break from dance this weekend because big exciting stuff that Samantha is coming to visit me and my family this weekend. Today, in fact. And speaking of things that I'm nervous about, this falls into that category as well. Whenever I have people come and visit, and especially when we're going to be having, people in our house staying with us, it makes me nervous because I want to cast a really good impression on them. I want them to have a really good time. I want them to always feel entertained. I want them to always feel relaxed at the same time. I want them to be totally comfortable and at ease all the time. And so what this means is that I am never relaxed or at ease throughout that entire time, but that's okay. I am just the worst party planner on the planet because I'm just always so anxious about it, and I just try to organize and plan everything to death so that nothing is left to chance. It's just part of my charm. What can I say? So I'm excited, but I'm nervous because I just want it all to go really, really well. And the kids are all excited. Anne was cleaning the house last night, and so this is what I do when people come. I clean, and our house is generally fairly tidy. I mean, it's not a museum situation. Our house is definitely lived in. We have kids, and so it's not like everything looks perfect all the time. But I take it up to the next level when we have people coming. And so I whirl around the house with Windex and a dust cloth, and I'm just cleaning everything in sight and shoving things into closets. Anne was going around cleaning everything. Henry was like, does she want me to pick her up some orange and cream soda for when we watch the movie tonight? Because we're going to be watching one of the Harry Potter movies with her. So we've been watching the whole saga, and she's a fan as well. And I said, I don't know, Henry, but I'll ask her. And then he was asking me about hair gel because his hair, Henry has always kept his hair really short. And I had said to him the other day, I said, do you want to grow your hair out? Because he's just had it like that since he was little. And I said, you can grow it out. And he said, well, I just don't like it when you wake up in the morning and it sticks up in places. I said, yeah, you're going to go through a transition, because his hair had been short. And I said, this summer is the perfect time to grow it out. And he said, but can I get some gel? Because I don't want it to stand up like that. And so it seems to me that he's probably officially a tween if he's asking for hair gel. I don't feel prepared for this at all. But it is what it is. But I thought it was cute that he's really concerned about looking his best when Samantha comes. So the kids are all excited, and we've got everything planned. We're going to be ordering pizza, watching a movie. We're going to go visit a local Marian shrine in the area and bring a picnic, and we're going to go out to dinner, kind of a girls' night. We're going to go to Mass, of course, as a family on Sunday, and we're going to walk to the farmer's market. It's going to be all lovely and pleasant, and I just really hope she has a good time because I really worry about these things, as I have mentioned. So that's the big news, really. Just getting the house ready. And so I left. Mike is off on Fridays. He doesn't teach on Fridays in the summer. And of course, the kids are home. And so I left them with very specific instructions on what they need to do with straightening things up. Anne has to clean her little kitchen. And, Mike is going to be straightening up the office and getting us some wine. And so it's going to be lovely. So that's kind of where that's at. So I will bring home my audio recorder. If we have time, I'll try to record a tea time with her. So we don't have anything planned for what we would talk about or anything, and I haven't even asked her if she would mind doing that with me. So we'll see. We'll see how that, if that takes place or not. But if we have an opportunity, we'll do that. If not, I'll be back next week just to give you a recap. But that's our weekend coming up. So yeah, it's really fun when you get to spend time with people that you usually know. Long distance. I had actually, I'll put that in the show notes. A couple of months ago, I met Sam in real life for the first time. We met up very briefly, and so we have met in person before, but it was just a very short lunch that we were able to have together. So this will be a longer visit. But it's very exciting when you have those opportunities to see your friends that are usually distant from you geographically, and so super exciting stuff. So that's the big news. What is on my bookshelf? Switching gears a little, but I mentioned Harry Potter, and of course he is on my bookshelf from now probably through the rest of the summer. I'm still reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I'm now in the books that are super duper long, this part of the series. So, and I just don't have as much reading time as I would like. So I'm still, I think, only 20% of the way into the book. I'm loving it, but I'm just not progressing very quickly because I don't have a lot of time to read it, and it's long. I think that house elves are setting my Kindle percentage back because it seems like I read a lot at night, and then I realize I've moved only 2 percentage points ahead, but that's okay. Really, really enjoying it. At this point, Harry and his friends are in year 4. Things have definitely gotten a little bit more serious in the tone of the book because, the evil that they're fighting against has now come to the forefront. The initial books in the series are a little bit lighter. These are a little bit heavier, but still very, very enjoyable. It's just a lovely world to be a part of, and I absolutely adore the characters. And I love the owls and the creatures that are in the books. It's lovely. So enjoying that a lot. And so I've been focusing on that as well as The Well, our summer book club. So I have a link in the show notes to part 3 of our book club. We read chapters 9 through 12 for this past week, probably on Sunday. Monday, I'll be reading the next 4 chapters, and we're almost halfway through. And things are really, really getting interesting, like I had mentioned in my last post. And the book took an interesting turn in that Mara's, our main character, Mara, her mom, who is the woman at the well, Neva, encounters Jesus at this point of the story, and I expected it. I just expected it before I started the book. I guess I expected that to be at the beginning. Now that I'm reading the book and realize that it's her daughter whose point of view that we're watching this from, and all of this, I assumed that it would happen more towards the end. And now it came at about, I don't know, a quarter, 30% of the way through the book. So it's definitely keeping me guessing, and I'm really enjoying that about it. So I'm going to be continuing on with that. I think we have that going into early August. I don't know that I'm going to do a fall book club because I just probably won't have time. But, we will definitely be doing a book club again in the future. Maybe take a little break, and then we can do one around Christmas time or something. Wouldn't that be lovely? A Christmas book. So we'll see. So that's what's on my bookshelf. What is on yours? If you have anything new that you've been looking at. I've been getting lots of comments on the book club posts. Thank you very much. It's been lovely and interactive, and I know that not everybody is able to keep up with the schedule, which is totally fine. So I'll usually get some comments right after the post goes up, and then the next week I'll get comments on the previous week's post, because everybody's just as they're able to read it, they come in and read my thoughts and then post theirs, and I think it's working very, very well. So thank you for that. It's been a wonderful experience. The comments that I've been getting have been thought-provoking, making me see different things about the books. Actually, this morning I read a comment on part 3, the 3rd post in the book club series, from Delta Flute, and she had posted, so I was like, oh wow, I hadn't even thought of that, about one of the other characters and how he might be a potential love interest for Mara as well. And I thought, oh gosh, I just hadn't even thought of that. So really, really appreciating those. Over in our prayer corner, so St. Kateri's feast day is coming up late next week. I believe it's the 14th. Let me take a peek at my calendar. Yes, I believe it's the 14th. And so her novena started this week. I'm going to be honest and admit that I have not been keeping up with the prayers. I have a link to the prayers if you would like to follow those, but because Pray More Novenas isn't doing this one, I'm not getting the emails, in my box where I can just read it off. I've got to go to the page or print it off, and I haven't done that. So what I've been doing is praying a decade of the Rosary each morning, and I have a St. Kateri Rosary with her on the centerpiece. I wish I had brought it in with me, but I did not. It's in my car. And so I've been using that and just asking for her intercession for the intentions that I'm praying for. And I think that she's good with that. St. Kateri is down with that. So I've been keeping up with that. That'll go through Thursday. Also, the novena to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. We have a Carmelite monastery here in Western New York, and I saw a note in our church bulletin last week that they are starting the novena to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. It begins tomorrow, which is Saturday, July 8th. And so her feast day is coming up, in 9 days after that. And so they're going to be starting that. So Sam and I might go to day 1 of the novena. We'll see after dinner on Saturday if we have time. But it just brought that to mind. I have a link in the show notes to the prayers for Our Lady of Mount Carmel. They're on EWTN's page, and they have it laid out really nicely if you want to bookmark that, or otherwise print it out. But for each day there's a separate thing, a short prayer. So that is in July as well. So lots of good novenas in July. So if you want to pray that, lots of opportunities for intercessory prayer. And as we're in this part of the summer, I'm really thinking about Um, praying for God's will. Come fall, everything is, it's sort of a fresh start type of feeling for us and the kids. And so I'm just thinking about God's will for everybody's life, that we all are able to discern that path and have the just the courage to take up that path, whatever that may be, especially for the kids. Think about them a lot. Henry going into 7th grade this year in particular. And yeah, thinking about that, for Mike and I, thinking about the teaching and that, we don't get overwhelmed with that and that we do as good a job as we can with that God gives us the resources that we need to do the best job that we can. So the summer novenas are a great time. This portion of ordinary time is a really good time to be thinking about those things and preparing our hearts and minds for those things. In the Creative Commons, I've been a very busy bee. The summer is such an inspirational time for me, craft-wise. So I finished the Hermione hat that I had mentioned last week. I have a picture, just a cabled and eyelet hat. It is a free pattern called Hermione Hearts Run. I have a link if you want to make it. It uses sport weight yarn. It was a pretty quick knit. Did not take me that long to do it, and I made it in a dark gray, all ready for the fall and winter. So pleased with that. I also want to make hats for the kids, and I made an adorable hat for Anne. I did it all over this past weekend because it's crochet, and you know that you can like crochet a gigantic Afghan, it feels like, in a couple of days. That's an exaggeration, but crochet goes quickly. Especially when you're using, well, I should say it goes quickly when you're using worsted weight or thicker yarn. You can crochet with thin thread, and that would take quite a long time to create lace and such out of that. But I crocheted this owl hat for Anne. Everybody's getting an owl hat, her and Henry both. And so the one that I made for her is really cute, has an owl face up here. Of course, I have a picture in the show notes, and it's simply called Owl Hat. That's the name of the pattern. It is free. And it has little ear flaps with braids that hang down. She looks like Agnes, I think, from the Despicable Me movies. And I love it. It's really, really cute. And you can do all kinds of different color combinations with it. I'm just in love with that pattern. And it has lots of different sizes you can make for, babies up through older kids. And I'm pleased with the way that it turned out. She wanted hers to be gray and blue. And that's what she got. Henry's I will show you in a future week. I haven't started it yet anyway, but it's a really cool color work hat where you knit the pattern right into the hat with the different colors of yarn. I'll come to that in another week, but it's pretty cool. And we have a Harry Potter tie-in, of course, going on with that one. That one's going to take longer. It being fingering weight, so thinner yarn, and the fact that it's knit and that it's color work will take a little while. So yeah, I've been really crafting up a storm and absolutely loving it. I've cast on for a couple of new things, and I've got lots of ideas, so I will be telling you all about those coming up. So that's what's going on with me today. What's going on with you on this July day? How everything's going well. As ever, of course, please write in with your thoughts. You can leave comments on the posts. You can send me an email at lifeofacatholiclibrarian@gmail.com. I always look forward to hearing from you, and we'll be getting back to you, of course. And so anything on books, crafts, preparing your house for visitors, summer activities, any of those things, I'd love to hear your thoughts on. And I will be talking to you next week, either with Sam or as a recap of Sam's visit. So you'll definitely be hearing some more about that. And I really look forward to spending that time with you next week. So until then, enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll be posting some photos, I'm sure, on Twitter from over the weekend. So if you follow me on there, check in with me for sure. See you soon. Bye.